certainly wasn't much to go back to at home because my family, my siblings all grew up and moved off, and my parents figured that we don't need this big house anymore. They moved to New York City, so there was really so it's 3 hours away from us. We would throw them in a car and get them down there. They spent most of the summer there. And then at work, go there on weekends. So you're outside the city, basically, right? Horry County. Still got kids at home? You know, I do better back in the day than I do now. That's even like Clarendon was some of the things I read. Sears used to be there. The hamburger chain was Ollie's Trolley back in the day. Now it's the Silver Diner there is the big center. I go back, we still
He was just saying,
Tom Saracens.
Still is there for like decades.
I know.
Would never use it there.
Somebody had to offer them a ton of money I'm sure that whatever was offered just to have the space that they were at. In years. Get that thing. Yes, I'm a member of it. So what do you do for them?
Hey, maybe we can help each other and grab our seats so we can wrap this bad boy up, go downstairs, and have a scotch, bourbon, whiskey, gin, or a beer. I'm sure they do, absolutely. Seems smart. Let's know, Mr. JD. Check in. You came up here to kick my ass.
It's good to see you.
There you go. I'm all right with that. Did you take off? Is he back there? He's right here.
He's right here.
Oh.
Right to the cat.
Just make sure you're not open. All right, thank you, everybody. 40 wonderful briefs today. As a matter of fact, I have 9 pages of thoughts and notes. I don't know how you all did, but I took 9 pages of thoughts and notes and ideas. So again, thank you for all of your efforts, all of your patience, and I know for those of you who were able to endure actually sitting there the entire time, I don't know how you did it. Everybody has. And so, 9 pages of thoughts and notes, and I just want to shotgun through some things that I heard that kept jumping out, kind of a reoccurring theme every time somebody got up here to talk. I heard apprenticeship, I hear career technical education, I heard education, I hear legislative support, connecting industry, camaraderie, enriching veterans' lives, physical and social activities, character youth development, women's veteran leadership groups, assisting and supporting disability claims, providing transportation, military spouse employment, fellowship programs, network of survivors for survivors, compassionate care to all those grieving the death of a loved one, cross-pollination, legal work, training tomorrow's leaders, empowering student veterans, scholarships, warrior program, mental and physical health. Joe Davis, you still here? Gambling. Advocating on Capitol Hill, strengthening community, military families, unemployed spouses, Gold Star moms, homeless veterans, centers of excellence, outreach, support, hidden heroes, mobility and adaptive athletics, respite care, and the list just kept going on and on and on and on of all the things that we all do collectively every single day. And the same way that I started my Jerry Maguire moment from this morning at 02:30, and I talked about that one singular conversation where Admiral Mullen had 6 of us set aside at the Naval Post Grad School, and he was taking us all to school, when he said, how do we coalesce? How do we build on our collaborative mindset? So if you recall, at the very beginning, I posed a series of about 6 questions. So and at some point, over the next few days, when you've had a chance to go back and think a little bit more about today, blow up Lou's computer. I'm not joking about this. Lou is dead serious about this, as is the commander. Blow up Lou's computer. Please take a second to think about what we did today. help us respond to these questions. And when I get done, I'm going to hand it back off to Lou, and I'm sure Lou will have some more coordinating instructions for you. But how can we help each other? Hopefully you're thinking about this, you're writing that down. Next. How can we all improve on what we're doing? How do we yield a greater impact for those that we serve? How can we align the interests of all of our stakeholders? What opportunities can we all share in? How can we impact and affect those we serve on multiple levels? The individual, interpersonal, our organizations, our communities, and how do we reach the national level? How do we take this opportunity to the next level? Should we do this? When should we do this? And how often should we do this? And that's where I'm going to turn it over to Lou, because there is a vision. Commander has a vision. And I have already seen it in my mind's eye. I know this can be done, and if you can think it, you can achieve it. How do we build this clearinghouse apparatus so that we all get information real time, all the time, and it's pushed to us? How do we do that? Please, if you would, take the next few days, think about today, think about these questions, and blow up Lou's computer. Lou, the floor is yours.
Sir. So it took me 6 months before I stopped calling him Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, or Command Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. That's an Army thing. That was new for me. But can we get a round of applause for Sergeant Major? Also, our IT staff who really, really cool. Yeah, so the rest of the time was really going to be dedicated to turning this into the type of think tank that we envisioned when we invited everybody to the table. And that is, as kind of now the steering committee, we are the presence in Washington, D.C. for millions and millions, and I go on 22 times, millions of veterans. At one point or another, these are at least the nucleus of organizations that touch almost every veteran in America. Granted, there are a lot more organizations that can come to the table. Some would have to fly in. Some, like MOA, couldn't be here today because it's a Storm the Hill day. There will be no perfect day for this, but this is the best day that we could find so far. So I guess the question now, and it's not something we have to discuss today, but it's something that, as the Sergeant Major said, we're going to want to go back and, maybe we could do a survey monkey or something, some kind of organized thought process that would wrangle this all in and figure out the questions that he's put up here. And I'll send these out. Is there anybody who is in here right now that is not on the current email chain? Okay, good. So everybody in here gets the email in one way or another. Fantastic. A couple of things. One, I will send a follow-up with some of, not all the slides, but I'll try to send maybe the first slide of each one or something, because then, the file would be too big. We're going to post them on the website. We're going to send the questions, and as soon as Ellen gets us the synopsis, which maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I'll send that out to everyone, and I'll CC Ellen, so you'll have her email address as well. And if these are the types of things you like, you can work with them and get them on a regular basis like we do. Yes, sir.
Lou, just for a suggestion, on all the slide presentations that you received, why don't you put them on the website and send us the link?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, instead of giving us.
I will absolutely send the link once I put them on the website. I promise you.
Okay.
That will do. And also, we want to make sure that if you go back and you say, oh, I noticed something on my slide that I want to correct, go ahead and fix it and send it. We'll post the most updated ones. And again, a little blurb about your organization. But those of us here in this room, we are pretty much the most recognized veteran service organizations in this industry. So we have a responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. What is it we want to do with that? And how do we want to use that power in the future as one voice? or we'll never agree on everything, but pretty much we agree on certain events. So how do we want to do that? Do we want to do this again next year? Do we want it to be a one-day event? Is this perfectly fine for everyone? Do we want to grow it into a two-day event? I was speaking with somebody on the break and talked about, instead of now that we have a basic understanding of what each organization does, maybe the next step is kind of like a pitch day where the organizations say, here's what I need from you. Here's what I need from the community. Here's what it's going to take for us to be able to serve veterans better. Here's the type of support I need. Here's how we can work together better. So maybe we could do that next year. Maybe it would be in 2 years. Again, let's get together as a community and figure out what we want. We don't want to run the show. We don't have to run the show. It's not about who's going to run it. It's about us coming together and doing it together. Because if the American Legion runs it, then it's just, it's another American Legion event. That's not why we're here. We're here because this is a veteran event. This is about you. This is about your clients. This is about your members. This is about the veterans and the families and the communities and the households that you represent. So let's figure out how to do that. From here, you can grab another sandwich if you want. We're going to go downstairs to the second floor, and that's where we have a reception set up. You can have an adult beverage in the form of a soft drink or water, or you can spike it with, some free libations that we happen to have downstairs. Please drink responsibly. And Commander, I'll let you close.
Well, I want to take a moment just to thank everybody for coming out today. I think the dialogue was great. I can certainly tell you I learned a lot about organizations I knew nothing about, and I'm sure I'm not the only one in the room. So the questions that were posed there, particularly, well, it's not up now, but question number 7, kind of, how do we take this to the next level? This was a great first step in my mind toward great possibilities beyond this. I think we can chart our own destiny with a second meeting, but I think it's going to take some thought after we go home, and like Sergeant Major Barrett said, let's let Lou know what we think about continuing this dialogue, whether it's hosted by us or whether it's hosted by any of the other organizations that's in here. I think it's the idea of a clearinghouse, I think, is a great idea. Where can we as a VSO reach out if we need this, if we need that? I don't know that anything like that exists right now. But I think it would be something that could certainly come out of this forum. And I wasn't really sure what to envision this becoming, but from what I'm seeing right now with the cooperation and the participation in here today, I think it can be a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, I will commit to you right now that let me know. I'll start an email thing. Don't email me immediately. I'll start one tonight, and that way I'll hashtag it or something, so I'll know that every email that comes in with that subject line will go into a special folder, and that'll be the work folder. But I want to know, let me know what the membership criteria is for your organization, and I will commit to you that every organization that I'm eligible to be a member of, I will join. So, and if you have a thumb drive, your thumb drive is up here. If you've left it, and if not, we'll figure out whose presentation it is, and we'll get it back to you. Sean?
Set up.
Oh, that'd be great. Because that would blow up my email. Thank you very much.
Blow it up.
Okay, does anybody want to add anything? Do we have any questions? Anybody want to be heard before we adjourn to downstairs and socialize?
Thank you.
Why don't we do that downstairs?
But there's a real nice backdrop there.
But you know I'm going to have a comment.
Oh,
I think what happened today was excellent. I certainly benefited from it. I think most people did. But waiting for a year, I think is too long. What I'd like to see, and maybe not do this every quarter, but to come back for a second shot in about 3 months and have each organization show its top 3, 4, 5 priorities. See how we can all work together to help those priorities. Just my thought.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wells, and I think that's the kind of stuff that we'll start to bounce back and forth and we'll figure out, you know, when people are available. So, no, that would absolutely be great. All right, if there's nothing else with that, thank you so much for coming today.
There, it's where groups can say, they can have each set decide that. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. 3 priorities, and people can actually stand up and say, you know, I can help you satisfy that.
It was good. It was good. I got to get out. But I didn't have to
I think this is the time to agree that we need to be association meeting each year. Instead of telling everybody almost at a problem. So why can you understand? We talked about at the beginning, you only got it in your head. Every association has a meeting. That's what they ought to be thinking about. They're thinking about putting back about their top priorities. Instead of talking time when they get together, we policy might all the veterans of America come in 5 days. So, you go get Scotch, gin, what else?
all kinds of.
One thing, did you hear that conversation?
That's benchmark. That's Sherry that was 100 years old when the book was open.
So Lou, thank you very much for putting this together. I love it. I just wish I could have to run out like the last 10 minutes. I am. I'm luckily Brian Services called with help on So what's the plan going forward? We're gonna have another.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do is we're all gonna try to figure out and agree on. A, do we should have another one, but I think that's already a foregone conclusion, we should. B, when it should be. C, where it should be. D, how long it should be. Should it be a day, 2 days, 3 days?
Are we going to be doing a full steering committee meeting to do
Say again?
just a day one?
It's always
Get everybody together and do something.
you ever had a time where to be honest with you, just don't know why it's happening.
Hey, who's getting help right now?
Yeah, that could be the first email I sent out, actually.
Because definitely getting all these business cards. It's definitely costs.
Well, keep in mind too, that the spreadsheet that I sent everyone has all the contact information. When I send a spreadsheet, I'll send it again. And it has everybody who's here, has their email address on it, and their organization.
Okay, yeah, I have a spreadsheet.
But
I'm sure we have more people to share.
yeah, it's good, or at least different.
It definitely helps when us, the smaller guys who have a niche thing are able to reach out to the big guys. And, so big fish.
I don't think we have, that's Molly.
Yeah, we're doing some sandwiches. I will see you later.
I have a question. It's your night. Anybody else get here?
I got to take on.
Side of the business. HR, Washington State, Idaho, you better show up with a lead.
Okay.
You're all set up to show there.
Oh, nice.
I have the laptop. I'm on all the seven. I can bring it down.
So, yes. Yeah, so I sent you 3